I've been told that if by chance we served an average God, he would deserve average praise. If we deserved and served rather a mediocre God, he would deserve mediocre praise. But I found out that our God is great. And because he's a great God, he deserves great praise. And I don't care where you are, this is a moment for you to praise the God that has been great to all of us. You've tuned in right now to our 15 minutes of daily inspiration, and I'm your pastor of internet and innovation, Kervance Ross, and you're on the New Birth platform. You're in the right place at the right time. Our senior pastor is Dr. Jamal Bryant, and we are more than excited to have the daily opportunity to inspire you in every way to change your life, to change your focus, and give you just that extra bit of gas to get you to the next day and ultimately to the place God has for you. If you take a minute and do exactly what we do, if you tag 10 people, if you share with 10 people, and if you would take a moment and text 10 people, the last 10 people that you engage with, pull out your phone and let them know that the daily inspiration has begun. If you take a moment while you're on social media and follow me at I am Kervance Ross, I'm there and I'm going to be more than excited to engage with you. This is all about giving you inspiration beyond Sunday morning. And you know, when you engage with me, my focus is about the plan from a purpose planning perspective, a business planning perspective, and a life planning perspective. And I'm coming to the end of this series that's been called the Kingdom Pandemic. Can you believe we've already done 7, and today is part 8, the final part. They've said that parting is such sweet sorrow, but I believe that there is a jewel of inspiration right in this moment. And I'm calling this one, Make the Main Thing the Main Thing. Make the main thing the main thing. I really could stop right there and start with giving you the opportunity to be connected to New Birth, but I want to unpack this a little bit because for you to be inspired in your life, to put your purpose engaged, to put your plan in place, and to focus on your life at the optimum level, you need to be able to make the main thing the main thing. And the key word for today is confidence. Confidence. You've got to be so confident in what you're getting ready to deliver, what God has purposed you to do in your life, what you're putting in place in the marketplace, what you're doing in ministry to meet the needs of people, what you're doing in your life to change the course of your gene pool and your future. You've got to have the confidence. And many of us lack confidence because confidence often puts us in a perspective where we are persecuted, we are marginalized. Sometimes people misquote what is confidence and call it arrogance. You know that in your circumstance, you believe in you. You believe in who you are. You believe in what you've worked on. You have total faith in the fact that you are designed to be great. And that's confidence. And you've got to embrace it. You can't run from it. You can't overlook it. You can't discard it. You can't put it to the side. The main thing that you've got to make the main thing is where God has called you to be, what He's designed you to do. You need the confidence to do it. And confidence along with humility go together. You've got to be humble enough to manage the confidence that you have been endowed with. You cannot allow the confidence to be a crutch for you. You've got to use it as a catapult. And you've got to realize that if you can balance confidence and humility, you'll make the music that will change the course of your destiny now, henceforth, and forevermore. So in making the main thing, what I have to help you understand, those of you who have been following me for any time know I go by the professional moniker, the Kingmaker. The Kingmaker, by definition, is one who aids in the development, growth, and maintenance of an individual or multiple individuals prior to or during their rise to prominence, prestige, and popularity. It is not gender specific. It is about authority and position. And each one of you are kingmakers in your own right. You got to say it with confidence that I'm a kingmaker. You have to realize that you have been making kings. Some of you are doing it in the marketplace. You get in business. You get in your entrepreneurial space. You get in your corporate space. And you get behind the scenes and make an organization. You make an entity. You make an idea. Everything that it's been designed to be. You're a kingmaker. Some of you are doing it in ministry. You're behind the scenes. You're a camera operator. You are an assistant pastor. You are making sure that the message gets out on social media. You are making sure that you push people to their level of prominence, prestige, and popularity. You're a kingmaker. And some of you are doing it in the mainstream. You're a mother, you're an uncle, you're a godparent. You are the person that gets behind the young person to help them understand you can be everything God designed you to be. You are a kingmaker. And the first kingmaker that I ever ran to is right in the book of Daniel. This individual named Daniel, as you've seen me through this series, has given us the tools to help us understand the dynamics of the kingdom, that God wants us to reign. He wants us to rule. He wants us to regulate everything in the kingdoms that we've been designed to be in. And one of the things that Daniel had was confidence. He was always able to make the main thing the main thing. But in this last portion of this series on the kingdom pandemic, there's getting ready to be a breakout in the kingdoms that you've been called to. And we've got to use the last segment of Daniel as he's connected to Darius to help you understand you need confidence. Got to make that main thing the main thing. He knows what he's been called to do. He knows that this is his kingdom. He knows that he can change culture. He knows that he can make kings great. He knows that God has called him here. He is not unaware. He is not shaken by it. And there are some things that you've got to be aware of in making the main thing that will help you succeed in this kingdom pandemic. Although this is the last piece of the series, the last thing sometimes got to be the first thing. And I want you to put your confidence up front and realize that the greatest challenge to sustain success is counterfeit confidence. I'm going to pull my phone out and text NBGIVE to 77977 and invest and plant a seed on that word myself. The greatest challenge to sustain success is counterfeit confidence. And if you want to sustain your success for a long period of time, you've got to have strong confidence. And in this passage, what you'll realize is that the first thing that happens when Daniel is making the main thing, is you have to realize in confidence, you must embrace that the king will promote your confidence. I said, you must embrace that the king will promote your confidence. Darius is connected to Daniel. Darius believes in Daniel. Darius doesn't make a decision in the kingdom without Daniel's advice. Daniel is not a king, has never been a king, but Darius knows his reputation, knows his anointing, knows his power, knows his acumen, and the king, Darius, embraces this reality for Daniel that promotes his confidence. And sometimes you need on your journey to have an outbreak in the kingdom that you're in, a king that will promote your confidence. Sometimes it only takes one person in a position of authority to put you in the place that they promote your confidence. And once you embrace that God will assign to you a king that will promote your confidence, you can make the main thing the main thing. You can use what you've been working on to change the course of the kingdom. You can use your insight. You can use your ingenuity. You can use your information. Once the king promotes your confidence, everything starts to change. And I'm going to testify. I'm going to use myself. It is a blessing to be on the New Birth platform. And it is amazing how one person can get behind you in the form of a Dr. Jamal Bryant and say, I see the God in you, and confidently say, I'm promoting your confidence, and your whole world can change. It doesn't mean that the platform put you in the position, but the platform made the confidence that you already had promoted on a level that if you had not connected to the king in your journey, the king in your life, you would not be able to help king make. And some of you are connected to the kings in your life that are promoting your confidence. You've got to make it the main thing. When they put you on the platform and give you the opportunity, stand on your confidence. When you have the platforms that the king listens, that the king is key on your insight, that the king is key on your advice, make the main thing the main thing. But not only must you embrace that the king will promote your confidence, but you must identify that the king will provoke attacks on your confidence. I said you must identify that the king will provoke attacks on your confidence. Because what you got to realize is Darius has diarrhea of the mouth. Darius just runs off at the mouth. If you get him to talking, he'll talk you to the day that you die. He will talk about stuff that you didn't even ask him to talk about. He just got to go on and on and on and on. And Daniel's enemies realized that this was Darius's weakness, and they cornered Darius into signing a decree that put an attack on his confidence, because Daniel prayed 3 times a day, and they didn't like it because he was disciplined, but they used the king to attack and create a provoked attack on his confidence. And I want to challenge you to understand that sometimes you will be connected to kings that will create an attack on your confidence. They don't mean you any harm. They are not there to mess you up. They're not there, but it is a part of the process, and you cannot allow your confidence to be shaken. Because when you are confident, attacks are on the way. Let me help you understand. If you want to be up front, if you want to be a kingmaker, if you want to win and you are fragile when attacks come your way, stay behind the scenes. Stay with your shallow perspective of your confidence and your self-esteem, because you're not ready to kingmake. You're not ready to have a pandemic break out in your kingdom. You're not ready for the confidence to be at the highest level. When you are confident, when you are connected to the king, you are going to have attacks that could be precipitated by the king you're connected to, and you got to gird up your loins. You've got to be prepared to take on the attacks and do it with a sense of confidence that if God be for me, there is nobody that can be against me. And I don't care how much you attack me. I don't care how much you talk about me. I don't care how much you try to tear me down. I'm keeping the main thing the main thing. I know what I've been called to do. I know my assignment, and nothing will deter me from the right or to the left. Nothing is going to separate me. You've got to keep the main thing the main thing. Thirdly, you got to realize that your consistency will optimize your confidence. I said your consistency will optimize your confidence. Although Darius has put him in a position to promote his confidence, although he's identified that Darius provoked attacks on his confidence, he now realizes that consistency will optimize his confidence. Because Daniel says, even though that you're attacking me, I'm going to keep on being consistent. Realize the only thing that Daniel's enemies had against Daniel is that he was consistent. And is it you that can testify that only thing my enemies got against me is I'm staying consistent? They see me all the time. They count me out, but I'm still on Facebook Live. They count me out. I'm still building my business. They count me out. I'm still saving my money. They count me out. I'm still working on my process. They count me out. I'm still making sure that I'm praying. They count me out. I'm still not giving up that it's going to work. They count me out, but I'm still staying consistent, and consistency will kill all of the critics. Because if you stay consistent and make the main thing, you can win. But not only do you need to embrace that the king will promote your confidence, you must identify that the king will provoke attacks on your confidence. You must realize that consistency will optimize your confidence. But finally, and I'm out of your way, recognize that other kings will devour attacks to your confidence. Recognize that other kings will devour attacks to your confidence. Let me help you understand. Daniel got thrown in the lion's den. And I want you to help change your perspective through confidence. The only reason you see it as a lion's den is because you're looking at it through a lens of fear. But truth be told, this is the king's den, because the king's seal is on the door. The king's man is behind. And the lions, who are the kings of the jungle, are in there. And they realized that if Daniel can change the lives of earthly and human kings, we need to get a one-on-one consultation with the kingmaker. And they didn't kill him. They didn't devour him. What they did is they spent one-on-one time with Daniel, and in the morning, when the king rushed down and his enemies thought he was defeated, the lions, the kings of the jungle, were given Daniel's enemies to destroy and devour his enemies while his enemies were trying to devour his confidence. And I want to encourage you to realize that if you are in the midst of this kingdom pandemic, if you keep the main thing, and you realize that your confidence is on 100, watch God change your life. I'm out of my time. I really enjoyed this series, and I pray that you enjoyed it as well. You've got to keep your confidence, realize that there's a breakout happening in the kingdom that God has called you to, and you will win if you keep the main thing. And I want to give you an opportunity to keep the main thing by connecting with Christ. I'm offering Christ to you. Wherever you are, I don't want you to just be a friend. I want you to be a family member. If you go to newbirth.org right now, click the join button and connect to a church that will help you build your confidence and stay connected to the Christ of your purpose. On top of that, make the main thing today by just texting NBGIVE to 77977 and investing in a kingdom that will allow you to see and reap benefits and returns some 20, some 40, some 60, 80, and even 100-fold. Because God is doing amazing things here in this kingdom here at New Birth. I love you. Keep sharing, keep texting, keep tagging, and realize that there's an outbreak going on in your kingdom, and God is blessing you in an abundant way. You will win, you will succeed, and you will achieve beyond your wildest dreams. I'm your pastor of Internet and Innovation, Kervance Ross. I love you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Have a drama-free and virus-free remainder of the week, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace.